Hello, I am Miriam, co-founder and COO of Keto Chow.
I'm Chris, also co-founder, president, and the technical guy, and I just checked the audio valve. It looks good. Okay, anyway, I think so. Yep. Anyway, if you're brand new to Keto Chow, it's a nutritionally complete meal designed to make doing keto easy. We also have some electrolyte supplements that are amazing for everyday use and for keeping the dreaded keto flu away.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the little bell icon for daily updates on all our Keto Chow happenings. These live streams help us be accountable and stay on track. Thanks so much for joining us on our keto journey.
Yep, there you go. So let's see, it looks like Randy's here, so is Debbie, and Visual Keto.
Hi.
So it's got to be cold in Chicago. Yes, it does. See, Carrie's here, so is Jerry. Becca says, good morning, everyone. Jerry is having a delicious Keto Chow caramel macchiato coffee for breakfast.
Nice.
We have no updates on caramel macchiato, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's see, Dennis says, good morning, Chris and Miriam Bear. By the way, when you tag us, Dennis, using @ChrisBear, we don't see any it doesn't highlight anything.
Yeah,
it's
the live stream.
Yeah,
right.
The thing that we're seeing, which looks like this, doesn't show anything when you tag us, so you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can if you want to.
If it's on Facebook and you want us to see it. Because even
no, during the live stream, it still won't do it.
I mean, on Facebook when you're not in the live stream.
Well, please don't tag me. Anyway,
doesn't want to be tagged.
I don't want to be tagged. Anyway, Betsy says, congratulations, Randy, on breaking through. That's awesome. Let's see, Ryan says, good morning, friends. Janet says, good morning.
Good morning.
Let's see, Red Wine is on. Says, good morning from Waddy, Kentucky.
Good morning from Kentucky.
Let's see, Rita says, good morning. Becca says, good morning. Linda says, good morning. Carrie says, good morning as well. Linda says, good morning from the amazing Keto Chow storefront. Let's see,
Which,
Lauren
if we have any locals,
on.
we have Oh Hello stuff that's on sale.
Oh, yes. Yes, we do. Marie says, it was a foggy morning on my drive from Tooele to Cottonwood Heights for a doctor's appointment. It was super foggy this morning.
It was really foggy.
I was surprised.
Foggy, smoggy, everything.
Yep. Done just in time for the live A1C of 5.4.
Yes.
Janice says, morning from Tennessee. Wind is cold here. Edward's on, so is Mike. Maitreya says, on my way to the post office to get Keto Chow shipping packages.
Yes.
Carrie's on, says, Heidi ho.
Hi, Carrie.
Who's Heidi?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Rickwood's on, is having natural strawberry with coconut oil for breakfast. So good. And Karen is on, returning after brain surgery.
Oh my gosh, I hope you're doing okay. Be careful, rest, heal, do what the doctors ask you to do.
I always think it's funny when someone says that such and such isn't that hard. It's not rocket surgery.
Rocket science.
No, they say rocket surgery because it's like brain surgery and rocket science mixed together, but it's rocket surgery.
No.
Anyway.
Wow, I hope you're okay. You'll be in our thoughts and prayers.
Shauna says, good morning, Chris and Miriam. Jill says, hey, I made it 2 days in a row.
Right, Jill.
Grasshoppers is on as well. Tara's on. It's a wet and cold 56 in Pensacola, Florida.
That's still warmer than here.
Yep. Crystal says, good morning, guys. Dennis says, no tagging, except among other chapters. Yeah, it just doesn't show anything on our side, so. Your green bottle. It's secret and it's fancy.
It's secret, San Pellegrino. Everybody knows it.
Aaron Sandy says, good morning from Idaho. Apple pie egg custard for the win. Nice. Randy says, Chris and Miriam, hello from Florence, Oregon, on the Oregon coast. Maya's here. And Gary says, yeah, British pop culture. Heidi ho.
Right.
Mike says, fog is better than a blizzard. Yes, it is.
Yeah, although then we could breathe if we had a blizzard come through. We're supposed to get a little bit of snow tomorrow that'll hopefully clear up the air a little bit.
Okay. Karen says that she's doing good.
Yay, Karen.
Crystal says I sound like Seth Rogen, and people keep saying that. And every time I see something with Seth Rogen, I'm like, I don't sound like him at all. I think our laughs are kind of similar.
I think they are a little bit.
I've had people like stop me in the middle of the store and say, oh, I thought Seth Rogen was here. And I'm like, no.
Just means Seth Rogen has a good voice. I thought it was funny because I didn't see the comment, and I can see it now. So it says Chris sounds like Seth Rogen. Yep. But you said I sound like Seth Rogen. And I'm all, Crystal says she sounds like Seth Rogen? All,
wow.
Wait.
That's amazing, Crystal. You should do impressions.
Right here.
Well, this is Morning Chow Hounds. Got myCHOW in yesterday.
Nice.
I'm having caramel macchiato with Irish cream in my coffee.
Yeah, we're actually getting ready myCHOW boxes that are going to be shipping soon for February, because February is around the
February's
corner.
coming up.
So if you haven't subscribed yet, you can think about it.
Fran says, if you have a monthly subscription, can you change the flavors each month?
So speaking of myCHOW, we were just talking about this, the myCHOW subscription kit, you can customize. There is a myCHOW surprise kit that you cannot. So if you have the regular kit, then you can go ahead and change it.
Yep.
So that's cool.
And it kind of goes down here. You got all these frequently asked questions where it talks about it. And do you have a 30-minute in-depth video that shows all the order options and can walk me through it? Yes, we do. So you can watch that if you want to. But yeah, if you do the choose my flavors as opposed to the pick my flavors for me, you absolutely can. Well, you pick it the first time.
Are you sharing?
Yes.
Yes.
You pick it the first time, and when you go, a couple of days before your subscription renews, it will say, hey, your subscription is going to renew. You can go in and manage your subscription here, which allows you to go in and change what you're going to get. You can just change it out the flavors, do whatever you want. With the surprise one, you can't. Let's see, Debbie says it's 41 in Houston, may get down to freezing tonight. I don't think we got above freezing yesterday.
It was cold.
I think it was like 25 all day long.
Yeah.
Chrissy says, good morning from West Virginia. Becca says, Miriam, I can barely hear you.
Oh, sorry, I have my thing facing away.
Is it on?
I don't know. It's the stupid neck of my sweater. Is it on? It's maybe? Well, let's see. Yeah, it's on.
Yep.
What?
Okay. Chris Jones says, morning, Chris, Miriam, Keto Chow family.
Good morning.
Let's see. Bev says, good morning from Florida. 73 degrees here this morning. You must not be in Pensacola.
Oh, yeah.
Marie says, rocket surgery is disarming a nuclear war.
Right.
Carrie says she's videoing heroes.
Okay, have fun.
Nice. Dorothy says, good morning from a rainy Portland, Oregon. Amaya says, Chris, the Hubs is dying for a blueberry flavor. Please talk to him. Okay. Now, what you can do, I actually just ordered some Da Vinci blueberry syrup.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
that
some
sounds
sugar-free.
yummy. Did you get the raspberry?
No. Yes, I did.
That's my favorite.
And you can add that to the cookies and cream or the vanilla. Works really well, and make yourself a blueberry flavor. Or you can use like the Mount Olive?
Olive Nation.
Olive Nation. The Olive Nation or the one-on-one flavors and do a blueberry flavor as well.
Yep. And One-on-One Flavors has been sending emails with recipes in it, so that's kind of fun because I've been enjoying those. I haven't made them, but I like the idea of it.
Sonny says, good morning. Mike says, I confuse Seth Rogen with Joe Rogan, but I don't confuse either of them with Chris.
Okay, there you go.
I don't think they're related either. Mike says drudge. Anyway, Kevin says, good morning, everyone. Keto Chow not raising my glucose hardly at all. A win for this type 2 diabetic.
Nice.
That is
I'm
awesome.
so glad, Kevin. Thank you for
Becca
sharing
says
that
it's
with us.
18 in Southeast Michigan.
Ooh, that's cold.
Kimberly says, funny how you're explaining changing the flavors of the pick your own subscription. I just got off the phone with Christian. He was very helpful.
Oh, yay.
Nice.
Thank you, Christian. Thanks for letting us know.
Lori says, electrician at the house, 2 of our bedrooms and our downstairs living room have no power.
No.
And it's not just the breaker panel?
I have really sad news. That's completely unimportant.
What's that?
We went to the home show and I bought a new curling tool. It doesn't work.
You bought one at the home show?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm really mad about it.
Like it plugs in and doesn't even turn on?
Yeah. So.
Does it have a breaker on the end of it?
I don't know. I'm going to have you look at it and say, yep, it doesn't work. I tried it in 2 different plugs and I thought, oh, maybe our breaker's bad.
Maybe.
But
Well, a lot of times they have the GFCI thing on the end.
yeah, hopefully. That'd be cool.
That
I
would
was
be cool.
wondering maybe if the light just didn't work and so it wasn't showing on, but it wasn't heating up. So I was like, oh.
Well, try licking it.
That's
Shauna says
helpful.
blueberry cobbler would be an amazing keto chow. I agree.
Sounds
Let's
good. There
see.
is a Snickerdoodle blueberry cobbler recipe. It is so delicious. You should try it. In kitchen recipes. Yeah,
Wait
use
for it.
Snickerdoodle, but it doesn't taste like cinnamony. It tastes like blueberry cobbler. So good. We should make that today. Is that it?
This guy?
Yes.
Okay.
So good.
There you go.
There's the picture.
Cool.
Thank you.
Dankeschön. Dorothy says, going to have Greek yogurt with egg white protein powder, vanilla, monk fruit sweetener, and the best will be brown butter with pecans.
Nice. That sounds yummy.
Now, let's see. MJ is on. Says, hi, Keto Chow friends. Let's see. Crystal says, what? That happened in my house. It was a circuit breaker. Marie says, Wendy mentioned in her video that Lily's has a recall on the peppermint flavored chips. Several batches and their production partner messed up and used things like actual sugar.
Oh, dang.
Well, I'm glad they're doing a recall, but dang. Carrie says,
I had a bunch of
it
the
says it's
peppermint for
43,
Christmas.
but feels like 35 here. Chrissy says, do you have any good Crockpot Keto Chow soup recipes? The jalapeno popper soup recipe is fantastic.
Yep, that's really good. Well,
any of them will work in the Crockpot.
Any of the soups we have will work in the Crockpot. We do it all the time.
Yeah.
It makes life so much easier.
So you just go to the recipes page and do soup. That'll probably work. Let's see. Oh yeah, you got the bacon cheeseburger soup.
Bacon cheeseburger soup.
There's the
really
jalapeno popper.
Too.
There's the taco soup, the cordon bleu. We've made
like
that a
one
couple
too.
times.
Yeah. I've
This guy
made,
is
I think, everything but the
nuts.
tomato basil mascarpone soup in the Crockpot. Like, I think every single recipe.
Yeah.
I have, but we just made the mascarpone soup we actually made it in a water pitcher in the break room
Multiple pages.
the other week. Yeah. Oh, it goes into other things.
Oh, things that use
Oh,
the
that
soup flavors.
ramen I actually didn't make in the Crockpot either.
Okay.
But I really like that ramen.
Okay.
We should make that too. I'm gonna write that down.
Okay.
Ramen.
Mike says, I'm on two PCs most of the time, and I type stuff on the wrong keyboard. That's why it said drudge. I was checking to see if the world ended while I was sleeping. That's so funny. Edward says, how many electrolyte tablets do you recommend someone should take a day? As many as you feel like you need. So I'll usually
do two.
Well, like for instance, we were running around Universal Studios. I didn't have a dropper bottle like this to bring on the plane, and so I just had a full bottle of the electrolyte tablets. I think I took like 4 or 5 that day.
Yeah, I only took a few, but it's salt. Like, it's literally just electrolytes. So if you take more than that, but let's talk about that really quick because we have this right here. You can't see it very good. It has the pills in it, and they're kind of degrading.
They fall apart over time.
They fall apart because they're made of salt. Wow, you can't see that very good either. Oh, I feel drop one. Okay, so since we were in Florida, I have the little like nighttime pill, like day popper thing, and I'd put an electrolyte pill in because I take one every night.
Oh, and they went.
And the longer we stayed, the bigger they got. But I still just dropped it in my hand and took the pills, even though they were swollen, and it was still fine. But we did notice the jar or the bottle didn't have any swelling on the pills.
Yeah, because we
kept every time we'd take them out, we just
nice
closed the
and tight.
lid. So that still worked out okay. And I just want to report that now I've seen in real life what
Florida
the pills do
humidity.
in the humidity.
Shauna says I need to stop licking things, especially Visual Keto says not licking electric appliances is no bueno, Chris.
Yeah, don't do that.
Right? Let's see. Alan is on. Kathy says I made the engineer roast yesterday.
Oh, nice. What did we have for dinner? We had a yummy dinner. I've been cooking.
What was it? Oh, you just had a bunch of chicken legs.
Oh, yes. Holly and I made up a
the
recipe.
Yep.
We had some brown swerve. We did a can of Diet Sprite and a bunch of seasonings. It wasn't as good as I would have thought, but I still thought it was, like, the chicken was cooked really well. So
It was.
It was good. And then I ended up putting one whole leg. I just cut it up and then put it in my salad. So that was good.
There you go. Robin says that she ate the whole bag of pepper and chips before they could recall them.
Oops.
Oops.
Yeah, that's me too. I think we probably ate one, so too late now.
So Danny wants to know, will savory flavors ever be available in the myCHOW box? So depends on which one you're talking about. If you're talking about the surprise one, yes. If you're talking about the one where you can pick your own, none of the seasonal flavors,
are available.
which the savory are seasonal flavors, and none of the limited edition ones are available in the myCHOW because we don't intend to have them available on a consistent basis. And for something like a subscription, that poses a problem.
Yeah.
So only stuff that is in stock and that isn't limited edition or seasonal will show up as available options in myCHOW.
Yep.
So there you go. And it does, if you go to the website, you go to shop, go to
Make that
subscriptions,
ramen.
you scroll. Here you go. It talks about it right there. Some flavors are missing. Can I get seasonal or limited edition flavors? So.
Sorry about that.
Let's see. Jen says, when you make the soups in the crock pot, do you brown the meat before you add it?
If you want to.
I don't. So a lot of people do that, and I don't see it as actually having a lot of.
If you want to drain the grease, you'll need to do that, because sometimes you don't want to have a cup of grease in your soup.
That's why I mix in the beef soup base.
Well, no, I'm just saying, there are reasons, right? So if you want to brown the meat and then drain your grease off and then put it in, like the flavor is different if you have a whole bunch of grease or not. So that's something to think about. But if if you're doing a recipe, you're going to want to follow the recipe, and in the recipes, it should tell you what you should do with the meat before you cook it. As you cook it. So if it says like in a crock pot or in a standing pot, do this, do this, do this, and kind of think. I would probably brown it and drain the grease, because I don't want to drink all that sometimes.
Well, browning it usually doesn't render a lot of grease out.
Sometimes it does. Depends on what it is.
Kimberly says, is the OOO the one-on-one site you're talking about? Yes.
Yeah.
I have been buying the Jordan Skinny syrups, but I don't hear you talk about them. It's just because it's not something that we've ever really bought.
Yeah, there are a lot of different syrups, and it just depends on what sweetener is in there and what you are available to have. Like we have the Loran's and OOO, Tirani, Da Vinci. I think that's, and then we have like Nature's Hollow and Chalk Zero, like syrups. And then Olive Nation we really like too.
Miss Congeniality is here. Shauna says, Jen, I almost always brown it before. It gives it better flavor. Kirsten says, are there any runners in the group? Because the Electrolyte tablets sound great for long runs.
They are. They're really great for long runnings. In fact, we were talking about this yesterday with the Electrolyte drops. You can take them without any water. It's super salty, but if you have a leg cramp or something, it helps immediately. So it may
tablets will
taste
take
really
a little
bad,
longer to
but
dissolve.
if you just, Ooh, but
Denise says, I'm just popping in to say good morning. I'm having natural strawberry with lemon meringue.
Ooh, that sounds good.
And Dorothy says, I want to make
Happy
the
with
egg
the day.
pudding with scrambled eggs and chocolate keto chow.
Yes.
Can you eat it right away, or does it need to sit overnight? You can eat it right away. It's just going to be hot.
It's going to be warm because your scrambled eggs were warm.
Yeah, usually there's steam coming off it when you get it out of the blender. Maitreya says, I'm not a runner, but a cyclist, and the tablets are great.
Yeah, so great.
Bev says, first time watching live, I use your Electrolyte drops and getting ready to order the shakes for the first time to make ice cream in my creamy.
Yes, Bev.
Awesome.
So happy you're here. What a great day.
Yeah. Carol says, good morning. I need to consume my abundance of Keto Chow before I order more.
That's a good idea.
Danielle says, can we get a carrot cake flavor?
Ooh, that sounds good. I haven't thought about that.
I don't know if that would
I don't know what it would be like
sell
drinking
very
carrot
well.
cake.
Adding additional seasonings to do it might work, or adding flavorings. And also you get down to the fact that I think that walnuts are the worst nut in the world.
I like walnuts. Well, and I think carrot cake is one of those like people
Kinkers.
like or they don't like.
Yeah.
So
Carrot cake has never given me joy. Not once.
I like carrot
It's
cake.
always a disappointment. Just like, the TV show Bewitched?
I love that show.
And I Dream of Jeannie? Those have always been a disappointment to me because they start as a cartoon, but they're not a cartoon. And I wanted to watch Gummy Bears, but it was only on at 6 a.m. on Saturday mornings. This is going back to the days when the only time you could watch cartoons.
I Dream of Jeannie was on after school.
Yeah, and it was not a cartoon, and so it was always a disappointment.
Credits.
And for me,
I like those shows.
Carrot cake has always been a disappointment because it's like, oh, great, a cake I hate that gives me cankers.
Yay!
But if you love it, that's great.
Sounds good to me.
Suzanne says, hello everyone, feeling better today after a hard weekend. I tried making Keto Chow hot chocolate and it was delicious, but it really affected my digestive tracts. Any tips or tricks I should try? You could try adding gelatin. Also depends on what fats you used. If you use butter, it might be a lot easier.
I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm sorry. You're
let's see. Randy says, just a reminder to hit the like button. Let's see. And yeah, Shauna says, Suzanne, add some gelatin, a couple of teaspoons, especially if you're going to mix it up hot. Mike says, I updated my myCHOW subscription last night. I picked a different date and different stuff. Nice. Trey says, it feels like it's 11, feels like -1 in Kansas City. Let's see. Rhonda's here. Says, late to the party, was in a meeting.
That's okay.
Then he says, woke up at 2 a.m. to make the hubs 2 chows.
Oh, you're so
I had
nice.
Such a Keto Chow fail. I melted butter and added Keto Chow in an old measuring cup that had seen its day. As it blended with a hand blender, I noticed a hole in the bottom and made a mess. That is terrible.
Well, our daughter tried the soda stream with flavoring today and made a fountain in the kitchen.
Yes, don't carbonate water that has anything in it at all.
I felt bad. She felt so bad about it. I'm like, oh, I'm sure it was an accident.
Yep. Tanya says, good news. I was able to save the chow.
Yes,
save the chow.
Yes.
Save the cheerleader, save the world. Let's see. Pat says, good morning, beautiful Chow family. Any updates on orange big bags? So the orange is one of the seasonal flavors that, just like root beer, that we will be restocking sometime in the spring, late spring, early summer. So I don't know if we have a specific date on that yet.
Yep.
It's ordered, but when they actually give it to us is a different thing entirely, because we're actually still waiting on chocolate peanut butter and caramel macchiato, which were supposed to be here like a couple months ago. So
it's because of the flavoring problems.
well, it's the magnesium. That magnesium caused the problem.
Pain in the butt.
So let's see. Tracy is here.
Hi, Tracy.
Visual Keto says lemon is always a great mixer with natural strawberry. One of my favorite combos.
Nice. Thanks for sharing.
Regiana says, I might have just murdered that. Says, is this good for carnivores? Okay, it depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about our electrolyte supplements,
Completely. Good
absolutely. If you're talking about the egg white protein, absolutely.
Yep.
If you're talking about the Keto Chow shakes or the soup mixes like the beef soup base, that depends on your goals and your tolerances.
Depends on how carnivore you are too, and if you do dairy or not. That'll make
So
a
we
difference.
had Amber O'Hearn, she is an obligate carnivore. She can't do any plant stuff. She was actually able to. The beef ones were just fine for her. The beef soup base in particular, because the vitamins and all the other stuff that we're using, those are going to be just fine for carnivores. We are using acacia gum, which it's tree sap essentially, but it acts as an emulsifier, and most people who are doing carnivore as an elimination diet to reduce inflammation and problems like that, for them, acacia gum isn't a problem, whereas psyllium husk, on the other hand, is a major problem.
And they used to use that.
So, and if you're using heavy cream or butter as the fat source, it could be usable for a carnivore, but I don't have a good answer for you, is the problem. So sorry.
Look at the ingredients, that'll help.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see, Danielle says, I like it, there are no nuts or pineapple. I only like it with no nuts or pineapple. I just murdered that. Anyway, Mike says, old walnuts bother my gums, but fresh ones do not. Let's see, Cheryl says, sounds like someone kicked up some deep thoughts today. Yeah, no kidding.
Right.
Visual Keto says, this is why Chris and Miriam are a perfect match. They complement
That's right.
each other.
I'll eat your carrot cake. You can eat, I don't know.
You look good in that sweater. Say I complimented.
Perfect.
Kimberly says there is a carrot cake recipe on the Keto Chow website. It calls for Snickerdoodle Keto Chow.
All right. Why
thought
didn't
I
I think of
remembered
that? Thank you. Do you want to pull it up real fast?
I'm sure.
Because we can. Because we're thinking about recipes today.
Yep. I'll just search for carrot.
Carrot cake. Oh,
There it is.
that is a good one. And you don't have to put walnuts
There's
in
two
it.
different ones, actually.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the cupcakes. I don't think I've tried those specifically myself.
Marie says, someone in the group was wondering why the scoop of tomato basil clumped when added to the meat juices. See, I actually explained that in the lazy engineer thing. I say, it will clump up.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it, because after a couple minutes, all the clumps dissolve.
Yep. And what he does too is takes the meat out and
Mix
then
it in,
mixes it up.
and it's all
and
clumpy.
then puts the meat back.
And then I stir it up and all the clumps are gone. It's just magic. So don't worry about it.
It's magic.
These are not the droids you're looking for. Matreya says, I feel like the gingerbread could satisfy the carrot cake craving, though.
Yeah.
Made a mug cake with cream cheese frosting.
Right? That would
Ooh.
totally. It's similar. Very similar.
Shauna says, I get it. I have an allergy to walnuts that cause mouth sores. Let's see, Tanya says, Chris sounded like you were disappointed with the carrot cake for your birthday in your youth. I never got a carrot cake for my birthday.
Yeah.
I did get a quarter watermelon with candles stuck in it once. No, it's just we would go someplace and they'd be like, and there's carrot cake. And I'd be like,
Not for me.
I don't eat it anymore, so I don't, whatever. Let's see, Karen says, I know. Dorothy says, allergic to walnuts as well. Let's see. Sonia says, do you think the Keto Chow marshmallows would be good as make-ahead peeps for Easter? Do you have suggestions for outside coating or color? I don't have any suggestions for outside coating or color.
I have a suggestion.
What's that?
So you can take erythritol and put a little bit of food coloring in it and stir it up, and then it's like a little crystally. I don't know how well it would coat the marshmallow.
You could spritz it with a little water.
Yeah.
might
So
work.
you could put a little bit of water on the marshmallow and then dip it in. I don't know how well it would stay, but I know we've done that for a bunch of different cookies. Like if you want to pull up the recipe site again, there's a cookie. It's a rollout cookie. I'm trying to remember what it's called.
I don't know what you're talking about, by the way.
Just type in cookie.
That's going to be a lot.
Yeah. It will be. No, it's not a rollout cookie. It's a cookie. You're not going to find it with roll.
Well, we have, let me show you how many recipes for cookies we have.
I know, but we're going to find it. It's right there. So scroll down for just a second. It's fine. I believe in you. It's fine. Keep going. Next. Anyway, so we've used it on the top. You can make a glaze, or you can do that. I'll see it when I'll organize it when I see it. It's actually kind of an old one, so maybe at the end of the pages, if you want to look at like the last page or something. There's the marshmallows. See, that one showed up with not cookies. What's it called?
I don't know. We need to get their comments, Miriam.
Fine. It's a good recipe. It's my
Anyway, you
favorite
could make the marshmallows ahead of time. The key with it is you just keep on whipping it, and when you think you're done, no, whip it some more. Because otherwise it just doesn't work. Blue Dove says, nice heroes recipe, right? Friends. Oh my gosh. We're all about recipes. Pat says, I will stop stocking the site for now. I will never allow myself to get low on it again. Let's see. Carrie says, I just like my coffee to be rocket fuel, and I've had 3 today.
Oh, wow.
Betsy says, has anyone made ice cream with root beer? Oh, yeah. Works
Yeah,
extremely
I love
well.
making ice cream
In
with
fact,
root beer.
Rachel with 2 Crazy Ketos does not like root beer. The root beer Keto Chow. She does like it as ice cream. Let's see. Jennifer says, who I can read her name for reals. I appreciate the daily live and casual conversation with you guys. Feels like catching up with friends on day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Great way to really connect with your customers.
Yep. And that's what we want. We really just want to sit and yak with you guys, and that's what we really enjoy. So if there are questions, we're happy to answer them, but we would rather just...
Unless it's specific questions about your particular order, and I don't have a way to look that up when we're doing here.
We don't want that.
Well, we just can't do it in this context. Randy says, I've been making my Keto Chow with coffee and butter. Makes a great cold coffee. Dory is on.
Oh,
Hey,
hi, Dory.
Let's see. Regina, I might have murdered that again, says thank you so much. JC Bean says, made a Mississippi pot roast. Use chicken Keto Chow, because it didn't have the beef. To thicken the leftover juices. Even non-keto family liked it.
Nice.
When do the savories go away? So we ordered a bunch of the savories, and the stock that we have right now
is what we have. Till next year.
Yep, until this fall.
I mean, till this fall.
The fall of 2022.
That's right,
which is
because this
what
is
we're in right
already
now.
January.
Yes. So yeah, we'll have them until they run out. They don't sell very well in the summertime, so we made the decision that it's a seasonal flavor. Well, they are seasonal flavors, so we restock them in the fall, and then they're available until they're gone.
Yep.
So, Dorothy said, they're talking to Randy. Let's see. Maya says, I just used up all my built-up store credit to get some gingerbread before it's gone.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I'm half sad, half thrilled. I was enjoying watching my credits grow.
Oh, yeah. But it is nice not to have to pay for something, right?
Yep. Dory says, some sweetener with food color for sour peeps and a sprinkle of citric acid.
Oh, there we go. That's a good idea.
Powdered citric acid will work really well. MJ says, psyllium husk powder in baked goods makes me constipated, so no more for me. Acacia gum and Keto Chow doesn't do that.
Yeah, interesting.
Jerry says, don't get jumpy if it's lumpy. There's a lazy engineer beef. Let's see. Karen says, Keto Chow marshmallows. I'll go ahead and pull it. Oh, it's actually.
Yeah, that's the one that's already up there. There's actually, I think there's 2 marshmallow
Yeah, so it's a half cup of water.
same.
Well, it's the same recipe, just one's root beer, one's eggnog. So 2 packets of unflavored gelatin, which I think is a tablespoon each, if I'm not mistaken. 3/4 cup water, some powdered erythritol or allulose, and a serving of whatever flavor Keto Chow you want. And this must not be the one, because I did one where I actually
There's one with
made
the
a
root beer.
video.
It's the root beer one. Soft baked cookies. I found it.
Here it is. So there's a video on this one where I show mixing it up. And yeah, 1 packet equals 1 tablespoon.
Yes.
And you have to just keep on whipping and whipping and whipping.
And then you have to not eat it because marshmallows are gross.
I think marshmallows are delicious.
Will you pull up the soft bake cookies? That's the one I was talking about. And the picture is not a great one, but it shows the erythritol in the pictures. They are really good cookies. So there it is.
That guy.
Yeah. So you can see the erythritol that we put the sweetener in, and we just put it on top of the cookies. Or you can use
the coloring.
make it into like a, what's it called? Frosting that's a glaze. Sorry,
Okay.
I can't think of the word.
A frosting that's a glaze. Yes.
A glaze.
Holly says I did make peeps with sweetener on the keto marshmallows. It worked good. The marshmallow sets fast though.
Oh yeah. So if you put the sweetener on as it's setting in the pan.
Tanya
what
wants
she's
a
saying.
white chocolate raspberry keto chow.
Oh, that sounds good.
There's no way we could have that ready for Valentine's.
Yeah, there is. I think there might be a white chocolate raspberry shake recipe on the site. I'm trying to remember if it's white chocolate or just chocolate raspberry in the recipes, but that's really good.
Let's see. And Holly put the link to the soft baked cookies.
Thank you.
Sherry says, "Oh my gosh, I just made Mississippi chicken and missed the chance to add chicken keto chow to it."
Oh man.
Karen says,
make it again.
I'm so glad for the credits. Maya says, "Well, you'll be putting the stock countdown on the savories." We could.
I guess we could.
Yeah. Well, here's the problem with the countdown. The countdown only works if we put the starting balance and then it counts down. But because we've been ordering those for forever and we would need to figure out what the starting balance is.
Yeah.
So we could though. Ethel says, I made your drop biscuits with the sesame flour instead of almond flour. They turned out great.
Nice. That's awesome.
And Tanya says, just want to thank you guys for all the giveaways. You're so awesome for the keto community.
Yay.
I've actually lost count of how many different channels are doing giveaways.
Yeah.
Autumn was doing one on her live stream last night, and Indigo Neely was doing one
Nice.
with her daughters. And one of her daughters has glasses,
And she's so cute.
and she looks like Ruth.
Yeah, with red hair.
Yep.
Ruth, it's just so cute to see a little tiny person with glasses. They're so cute.
MJ says, if I ever came to the real storefront, the Keto Chow peeps would chit-chat with me. I think of these lives as a virtual chit-chat.
Right. And if you ever do come, you have to tell them to grab me from my office because I want to chit-chat with you.
Yep. So K-Rose says, so I don't know if I missed it with the pudding. So you scrambled, you take eggs, you crack them all into a pot, and you scramble them.
Or a frying pan.
Then you put those into the blender.
With the ingredients.
The original recipe that Maria had was you hard boil eggs and put those into the blender. After you peel them,
yeah,
oh my gosh.
don't put the shells in there.
From there on out, it's exactly the same. Then you run it through the blender with a bunch of other ingredients, and you can't tell there's eggs in there. Bessie says, I have xanthan gum. Is it okay to use on keto to make things thick?
Yeah.
A lot of people
we do that all the time.
There's a little.
That's a great question.
There's
Betsy.
0.2 grams of xanthan gum in each serving of Keto Chow.
Yep. So if you want your Keto Chow to be thicker, you can add that too. But you want to do it in the
Sonia
mixing,
says,
not
recipe
after the
request
fact.
an Aussie bite-style breakfast cookie that's 1 to 2 cookies for the whole serving of Keto Chow.
I didn't know
Never
what
even
that
heard
is.
of that.
We'll have to look that up. Thanks, Sonia.
JC Bean says, any chance of a cherry Keto Chow? I have worked on it. I just keep coming back to cough syrup. It just tastes like cough syrup. So, Catherine says, I hear you can make drop biscuits with pork panko instead of nut flour. So that's my next experiment. Becca says, actually, a seafood soup base would be a great addition to the savories. We have that. The beef soup base was created specifically with that use in mind. It's unflavored, and I was like, oh yeah, we could make a clam chowder one, and we could do a cheesy broccoli keto chow, and then I'm like, wait, why don't we just leave the flavor out on one of these, and people can add whatever flavor they like.
Yep.
Whatever extra ingredients. So there's a clam chowder recipe, and is there a lobster bisque recipe? Did I really just say that?
I don't know.
No, but you could. Gina says her name is Renee.
Oh, nice.
Okay. K. Rose says thank you. Kimberly says, when is the keto conference in Utah? It's tax day, April 15th.
April 15th and 16th.
Yeah, if you go to ketosaltlake.com, you'll find it. That's one way to do it. Or lowcarbevents.com.
Yep,
You'll
and
find
we
it
got a
and
hold
more.
of the hotel yesterday. We have a place that's going to give us a block of rooms. It's the Doubletree Hotel.
And don't have all the details ready.
We don't have the
to put
details.
out,
We're going to post them on the site. We're just doing a little back and forth with the lady that works there, who happens to be keto.
Nice.
So that's awesome. We're going to send her some samples. But yeah, we're excited about that, having a discount. There are hotels that are less expensive than the one that we've contracted with, but the one we have is, it's really close to walk there, so it's nice.
Let's see. Randy says, Chris, has anyone used Tarragum in the Keto Chow besides the ice cream? So funny you should ask. The video where Serious Keto first talked about using Tarragum in Keto Chow ice cream, he also made pudding and flan with Keto Chow in that same video.
That's a good video.
So he details how to use it in his video. So check out his channel.
Yeah.
Let's see. Marie says, use a seafood stock with the chicken Keto Chow.
There's such thing as seafood stock?
Yeah. Teal says some of us like cherry cough syrup.
There you go. I like cherry cough syrup way better than grape. What's it called? Dimetize? No. The medicine that's grape.
Dimetap.
Dimetap. Yuck. So I don't like grape anymore because I had too much Dimetap when I was a kid, apparently. Because grape is gross.
Jerry wants to know if we've reached out to Zip Fizz to see if we can get the flavoring from them. That's not something that they would do.
Oh yeah, companies won't disclose their flavor information.
Nope. Alice says, think I would like to try the clam chowder recipe. Sounds good.
It's really good. It's really, really good.
Tanya Redwine is on from Western Kentucky.
Nice. How are you, Tanya?
And Tanya is excited to be attending Keto Salt Lake.
Yay!
John says, I'm still having minor heart palpitations from my tax error yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She hadn't submitted it yet and discovered she needed to do another W-2.
Oh, well, that's good that you that's good that you noticed it before you submitted it.
Kimberly says, I made my own cherry vanilla shake with vanilla keto chow and Jordan's Skinny Syrups cherry flavor.
Perfect.
That's fantastic. Betsy says, Holly and Lynette, you guys are great helps. Thanks so much, because they keep on putting links to the different stuff that people are talking about.
They're so helpful.
And let's see, Becky says, I love you all, folks, but I have to go. I have a bad case of not COVID and need to go back to bed.
Oh.
I have a bad case of I need a nap.
Well, you should all go make those soft baked cookies because they're freaking delicious.
So Pat says you mentioned using Tarragum and buttery mayo yesterday. Where would I find info on that? So the info I gave yesterday was Joe talked about it in Joe with Two Crazy Ketos talked about it in one of his videos. I don't know if he has specific information about other than that video.
That he tried it, But I think it's the butter mayo recipe, and he just added a 1/4 teaspoon to the recipe.
Yep.
We're not actually
It's not printed anywhere.
But I think that's the
I don't
case.
think it's written down anywhere. You would have to watch the Two Crazy Ketos video from, it was from about a week ago today, where Miriam and I are coming into town, and we were going to do the live stream.
For some mayo.
Yep.
Can we have some mayo? That's what we do when we go to people's houses. We're like, could you make me some mayo?
Yep. Grasshopper says, I didn't realize the savory flavors were seasonal. I should probably make a large order. That said, what's the shelf life? 2 years is from the manufacturer date is the shelf life. And that's one of the reasons why we're making them seasonal, because we would order a bunch and they would sell really good during the wintertime, and then they wouldn't.
On the shelf.
And then they would lose a year of their shelf life.
Yeah,
So instead,
so we're trying to be proactive.
Yep. And I think it actually explains that on the page. It should say, something to write down.
Okay.
It should say that these are seasonal flavors on the savory flavor pages. Let's see, Carol says it's chore day, gotta run. See you, Keto Salt Lake. Let's see, and Pat says, thanks, Shauna. Okay, well, we're gonna go as well. So thanks everybody for joining us.
Have a wonderful day.
Yeah.
Be kind to yourself. Practice some self-compassion so that you can achieve your goals and be happy.
Okay.
It's easier to be happy when you love yourself.